Welcome to the Torah podcast for Parshas Tetzaveh. Join us as we explore the weekly parsha, uncovering valuable insights and striving to become the best versions of ourselves through Musar teaching. This week's parsha has a striking distinction that commentators have noted for centuries. It is the only parsha from the time of Moshe's birth until the end of Sefer Bamidbar where Moshe's name is never mentioned, not even once. The parsha opens with these words: V'ata tetzaveh es bnei Yisrael v'yikru elecha shemen zayis zoch kasis l'mo'or laha'alos ner tamid. And you shall command the children of Israel, saying that they should take for themselves pure olive oil, beaten for the light to kindle the lamp continuously. The Torah says you, but never identifies who the you is by name. Throughout the entire parsha, Moshe renames unnamed, addressed only as you. There's something profound happening in this very first pasuk. Rav Druk Shlita asks a fundamental question. Why does Hashem command Moshe to take the oil for himself, for you? After all, this oil would be used to light the menorah in the Mishkan. Aside from the 7 days of inauguration, that wasn't Moshe's job description. The daily lighting of the menorah was the responsibility of the Kohanim, not Moshe. Why does the Torah phrase this as if Moshe himself needs the oil? Rav Druk answers with a profound insight. The menorah represents much more than physical light. It symbolizes the Torah itself. We see this comparison explicitly in the Gemara in Bava Basra Daf Chaf Hey Amid Beis, where Rav Yitzchak teaches us one who wishes to become wise should face south, and one who wishes to become wealthy should face north. The mnemonic for this is in the Beis HaMikdash. The Shulchan, which symbolized bracha and abundance, was in the north, and the menorah, which symbolized the light of wisdom, was in the south. The Gemara couldn't be clearer. The menorah represents wisdom, which means it represents Torah. The light of the menorah is the light of Torah illuminating the world. Therefore, when Hashem commands Moshe to take the oil for himself, Hashem is revealing something profound about Moshe's identity. Because Moshe had brought down the Torah from Har Sinai, because he transmitted it to the Jewish people, because his entire essence was bound up with teaching and spreading Torah, Moshe himself can be compared to the menorah. The oil wasn't for the physical lamp in the Mishkan, it was for Moshe himself, the human embodiment of Torah's light. The Torah doesn't stop there. It specifies that this must be shemen zayis zoch, pure olive oil. This detail carries its own message for us. Our own learning should be pure as well, not mixed with extraneous pursuits, not contaminated by ulterior motives. We need to learn Torah lishma for the sake of learning Torah itself, not for the recognition it might bring us, not for the status or honor, not even primarily for the reward. When we approach Torah study with purity of intention, when our learning is zach, clear and unmixed with other agendas, then we too can become like Moshe, like the menorah illuminating the world with the light of the Torah. How can we apply this lesson practically in our lives? First, we need to examine our relationship with Torah learning. Are we approaching it with the purity it deserves? When we sit down to learn, what is driving us? Is it purely the desire to connect with Hashem's wisdom, to grow closer to Him through His Torah, or are there other motivations mixed in? This doesn't mean that we can never have any other considerations. We're human beings living in this world. However, we need to work on making our primary motivation pure. The zach, quality, should be primary, even if other factors exist secondarily. Second, we can each ask ourselves, in what area of my life can I become a menorah? Where can I illuminate darkness with the light of Torah? Maybe it's in our homes, teaching our children not just the words of Torah, but the values and principles it contains. Maybe it's in our workplaces, bringing Torah ethics into our business dealings. Maybe it's in our communities, sharing insights and inspiring others. Third, we should recognize that just as the menorah needed oil to produce light, we need consistent input to produce spiritual illumination. The oil had to be brought regularly, continuously, ner tamid, a constant lamp. Our connection to Torah also requires consistency, not sporadic bursts of enthusiasm, but steady, regular engagement, as we discussed in last week's episode. This week, before you begin Torah learning, whether it is a few minutes or a few hours, take a moment to check your intentions. Ask yourself, am I approaching this learning with purity of purpose? Set an intention to learn shemen zayis zach, with the purity that the menorah deserves. Remember, you're not just learning Torah. You are becoming a menorah yourself, a source of light that can illuminate the darkness around you. When Hashem told Moshe to take the oil for himself, he was revealing that Moshe had become identified with the menorah, with the light of Torah. Each of us has that potential as well, to become so connected to Torah that we ourselves become sources of its illuminating wisdom. May we merit to approach our Torah learning with purity, to illuminate our corner of the world with its light, and to recognize that when we connect to Torah, we are not just studying, we are becoming. Thank you for joining us for this episode of the Moshe Torah podcast. Until next time, may we all merit to be worthy vessels for the pure light of Torah. Have a good Shabbos.